in the actual live stream, they said, we're going to be emailing this. It's for free. Spread this out as far and wide as you can. We need to have this discussion in our society. We're going to email everybody that came to the webinar the slides. So I took that as, all right, you've given me the slides. Let's talk about them. I believe in a free discussion. So that's why I'm doing this. Okay. So here we go. He says this. Here's a few points that he makes right off the bat. We have here a history of conspiracy theory. I'll just go through the points really quick. Ancient and medieval examples of conspiracy theory include anti-Semitic conspiracies alleged against the J people, I can't say that on the air, and less disastrously conspiracy theories relating to the Freemasons and, depending on the country in which you live, Catholics and Protestants. The first modern conspiracy theory arguably dates to the 18th century in Bavaria and a secret society founded in 76 by a philosophy professor, Adam Weishaupt. Weishaupt, living in a very conservative part of Germany and looking with envy at the Enlightenment happening across Western Europe. Just look at the way he structured that, eh? Tell me which side of the political aisle he sits on. Anyways, sought to create a secret society with an ideology that sought to illuminate life there with fresh ideas, a central theme being a critique of religion. Oh, so he's already on Adam Weishaupt's side. He called the society the Illuminati, and over time it grew to have several thousand members, many of whom were well placed in German society. The Illuminati was identified by the Bavarian government as a potential threat to the government and dissolved by the state authorities in 1785, 9 years after its founding. So basically it just went away. But the Illuminati live on in the imagination of conspiracy theories as a secret cabal that even to this day is thought to manipulate world events, a kind of super conspiracy. Now, Michael, you've done countless articles. We've had many discussions where we've gone into very detailed specifics with citing, with historical examples, with, evidence galore. And when you hear these people just kind of graze through it, and I think he spent a total of 1 minute and 30 seconds talking about the Illuminati. So 1 minute and 30 seconds from a prestigious Canadian professor versus I think I have 137 books on the subject, written many of them by academics that we're going to get to. So your thoughts on that whole history chronology that he gave there?
Yeah, it's all bogus. They pick on these, sacred cows. They pick on the Illuminati all the time when they want to do this because there is a certain knee-jerk reaction against that. But in our podcast on Unslaved, Illuminati Fact or Fiction, I think I proved the case that they exist.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been pursuing this for 30 years of my life if I was mad. See, so when they call you out that you're a conspiracy theorist, it's one way of them really saying that you're insane. So if I was to talk to him, I'd say, then how will you go about proving that I am clinically insane or in some other way deeply neurotic, whatever, pathological, let's say, because I've been doing this research since 1982. How would you then even go about, because you may have to call in a couple of psychiatric friends to do it. Yeah, but see, I happen to know that psychiatric people don't follow that lead. They don't even want to know about this stuff. So the man's platform is not as strong as he thinks. And even today, if you actually, meet one of these academics, often these are awards that have been given. They're probably not as intelligent as people think, right? The whole edifice right now is selective, and it's not it's not a meritocracy anymore, right? From philosophy, all through the sciences, all through the humanities, you get picked based on your political, allegiance and affiliation, and other factors like that. You're not actually given awards and degrees anymore based in actual, knowledge. This was a long time proved by many scholars, particularly Alan Bloom, and other people have written on this. So I'm not intimidated by their so-called, degrees hanging on the wall. So if somebody has even 5-10 years behind them researching these things, they're going to have to take every one of those people, and even probably somebody who's got a multiple, publishing deal with some of the top publishers in the world. They're going to have to sit those people down and try to go through a process, an impossible process of diagnosing them as demented or pathological. How do you even do that? That would be evident if he could bring something and say, we've gone and selected 10 of the world's leading. We've got G. Edward Griffin strapped down here, so he's got a muzzle on because we don't want him talking. And we've got this guy and that guy and got 7 others, right? And we have a team of experts here in the white coats, and they've proven all of these people clinically insane or pathological, and show me the documentation. Then there'd be a reason to get up on the, the hind legs and really you get into it. This is fatuous. This is for the pros. This is for the dumb show. These are the same people mind you, mark you, that these are the same people. If they had the power of the old priestarchy that ruled for 2 and more thousand years, if they had the Victorian crackdown, the high stratification of these academic hierarchies, they would be telling you, they would be working to prevent you even asking the basic gateway questions that you come on this planet to ask. That's how dangerous these people are. Don't worry about conspiracy theories. They're going to go, oh, you want to ask who am I, where am I going, and what's my purpose? Go ahead, I love it. There's the conspiracy theorist. The other guy's going, what are you asking those questions for? We're going to fine you. I think you need to be locked up. You need to be tested. What are you here for? Where are you going? What's it all about? And what's your purpose? How dare you ask those questions? You're meant to be an obedient worker. Get on with it. You see the difference? So the fear is they're not breaking out of their paradigms, right? We are busting the paradigms. From the outside, mavericks, amateurs, ordinary folks. That it's a terrible, terrible fear. And so they look back and say, for 2 and more thousand years, in one way or another, the human race has been entrapped, right? Entrapped by psychiatry in the latter years, and that goes back to almost 1770. You've been entrapped by religion, right? And you've been trapped by state government with all of its laws and regulations and all the things, right? We want you that way. How dare you get inspired by great movies, great physical teachers like Krishnamurti, right? Bruce Lee, all of you. We don't like that, and we're going to strike back, and we're going to test your muscle to see, how efficiently we can do it. So yeah, it's something I've been monitoring for a very long time. But when it comes to the Illuminati, it's actually not even that difficult. He actually picked a really stupid one there because it's actually quite easy to prove.
Yeah,
right. Because Moses Mendelssohn, Adam Weishaupt, Baron von Nige, right, the Duke of Brunswick, all of these people's writings show you that such a group existed. As to the fact of it dying out long ago, I've already debunked that, right, in my work. And also, what he doesn't tell you is that the most astute conspiracy theorists have proven the existence of this and other secret societies of a Masonic type by using the classic etymology and symbolism roads, where does that lead me, as hermeneutics, and he's not even mentioned that there are legitimate keys that any symbolist, right, even from within academia, would have to acknowledge. The cross keys of the Vatican, the mitre, the pyramid with the eye, right? Dude, we are following 2 disciplines that you will never mention in any of your writings on the, get them to write shit down, get them to confess. They'll never mention those 2 hermeneutics. And of course you don't, because those who use it have broken the trance. Those who've used it, making the biggest budget movies that the people you won't go after and call conspiracy theories. And I've been doing it since Alfred Hitchcock and before. And then the people like us who are also using those decoding decipherment techniques have come upon the existence of these secret societies. We haven't done it sitting behind some academic desk in Cornell. Nobody has. Right? And the ones who have done it from, say, within an academic framework, I know all about them. I've read their books. I've got them. People like Nicholas Hager, 7 books. Let's get Nicholas Hager and this guy together, and we'll see who wins the argument. A man who categorically has proven the existence of the Illuminati and its royalist, elitist funders, debunking the myth that they were anti-monarch, monarchistic and anti-royal. We've gone so far down the road. Professor Robinson in 1793, Proofs of a Conspiracy. Coming up to date, you've got Anthony Sutton from the Hoover Institute. Right? It dwarfs this guy's credentials. People at the highest level, even government, Gary Allen, right, and other senators, people at the highest level of the military.
Yeah, I was just popping up. I was just popping. Yeah, I was just showing people as you were talking. I had a title there for Proofs of Conspiracy by John Robison. He's a professor of natural philosophy and secretary to the Royal Society of Edinburgh, and he wrote it in 1798. So I guess must be another tinfoil hat wearing kook.
He's another. I'll tell you another one too. Go to the Wikipedia, type it Anti-Masonic Society. It was only headed by President Adams, Quincy Adams, President. That's right, President.
Didn't Washington call out the Jacobins and the Illuminati when
he called out the Illuminati?
Yeah,
yeah. They're from memoirs that are in the Library of Congress. Go figure. We've got them all through my work. That's why I say everything is, everything's stated from higher sources. The deans of various colleges, right? High level people, General Smedley Butler, people like that. Yeah, put an anti-Masonic society, America, 1700s. If it's good enough for President Adams, it's good enough for me. That's what you just say to a guy like that. You don't get into big, long debates with him at all. Is that it? Yeah.
This one, yeah, it says it's also called the Anti-Masonic Movement. It was the first party in the United States, strongly opposed Freemasonry and single-issue party, and later aspired to become a major party by exchanging its platforms, and on we can go.
It had some of the highest figures in the land, the highest merchants, the highest statesmen, even the president endorsed it, was one of the key members. Look, end of fucking story. And so the people he talks about in Europe, did he mention the people who labored to expose, right, the Illuminati? Right? It just helps them because a lot of the books that were written, weren't translated into English from French and German. Yeah, but they're there. You can go to museums and see all the Illuminati documents. Okay? But what he focused in on there is this thing they always try to do, which is point out that the Illuminati couldn't possibly exist. In the videos I've made, I list about 10, right, different orders that predate the Illuminati by at least 3 and probably even 400 to 500 years, all which exist in our world today. There's nothing more to be said. Right, let me repeat that again. There's over 10 organizations mentioned in our programs, so most of them predating the so-called Illuminati by 400 years, at least 3 and probably up to 500 years. All of them still exist today. Move on. Done deal. How could you then propose that the Illuminati, which only existed in the late 1700s, right, late 18th century, couldn't possibly exist? Like all these plonkers try to tell you. Nothing could be more fatuous. These orders not only exist, they gain in strength. And part of that gaining in strength is to conceal their existence, right? But many of these orders, exist today. Both in the East, there's an Eastern Illuminati groups that still